It doesn't matter if you have Russian scientists who are locked away in a basement for 40 years building the Iron Man suit of health. And if you get one for free, if you don't know how to operate it, it just doesn't, it ends up meaning nothing. And so for me, at least in the book and then my approach in general, the part that I care about the most is, can you do stuff? Right. And then like we have all the biomarkers. And when I talk about performance longevity, right, that's sort of like the marquee component that I talk about is you have all the biomarkers in the world, but if they're not a reflection of your ability to engage with life more successfully, who cares? Like, if you're like, bro, I got the best hemoglobin score they've ever seen, but like, you're still a selfish asshole. Like, I don't really care. It's like, I want you to be healthy and cool and like take care of your family for a long time and be like a meaningful contributor to your community, not show me your blood panel and high five me. That doesn't mean that
Yeah. Well, that's probably like that's currency at certain cocktail parties and conferences for sure.
it is.
So because you mentioned it right out of the gate saying you just gotten off a call about this, I do specifically want to get your take on heart rate variability. And let me give you some context here.
Oh boy.
Everybody's measuring it.
Yep.
We've had numerous people, experts on our podcast coming in and talking about it. There are billions of podcasts where experts of all kinds are talking about heart rate variability. It's the most obvious metric we can all see on our Oura rings and other tracking devices. And yet, when we work with regular people, they almost always say they cannot change their heart rate variability in any meaningful way, even after trying these strategies that you've talked about where they do one thing at a time, they try to focus on the big levers, they remove alcohol, they, cool off their bed, they go in a dark room, they try to sleep according to their circadian rhythm. I mean, like, we have numerous examples across many clients we've worked with who are like, this is annoying. I cannot make a difference in this, but I'm being told by the fitness industrial complex that this is like, if I can't fix this, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know. Can you talk about this? Because we just had a call about this with our Starrett System community. And, it's just like, it's been dogging us. And we don't seem to have been able to help people, even though we're all still tracking all our stuff all the time. By the way, Kelly doesn't track anything, just FYI. So
I give it breaks. I do audits.
yeah.
That's my deal now. I sort of do audits of the system and go, I'm going to calibrate my perception with this information and make sure that the subjective metrics I use are still aligned with real objective data. And if they are, I move on.
Before you talk about HRV, like, what is that? Do you just put an Oura ring on like once every couple months for a week? Or because I do like that idea and might bring a more sane approach to a lot of people. Like, how do you actually do that in practice?
For me right now, I'm using the Morpheus. So I really I like it because I put the chest strap on once a day and I look at it and I go, this is how I slept. This is how I feel. And then I move on with business and I'm not like going back and be like, my resting heart rate was 5 beats higher. I must do more aerobic work. It's just, it turns into like, it can become obsessive.
And that's Joel, for everyone, that's Joel Jamison's system called Morpheus. And he is an expert in conditioning. And I think it's Try Morpheus or Train Morpheus or something like that. And I use it. I have one. And one of the things I love about it is that it doesn't go into the atmosphere. It's just right there on my phone. And it doesn't require a subscription. Just we can start.
It's so user friendly. I'm really enjoying it. So I'll say a couple things, Juliet, in response to your question. So first of all, I just want to start by pointing out a really common like cognitive fallacy when it comes to the way a lot of metrics are used, HRV included, which is, we can call it like the Cobra effect or Goodhart's law, which is once a measure becomes a target, it's no longer a good measure. And so it's just like, so there's this really great story about Colonia when India was still a colony of the United Kingdom. They were having a problem with cobra infestation in the sort of more metropolitan areas. And so the British Kingdom was like, hey, we'll pay you for every cobra head that you bring to whatever the local governor. And so what do people do? If you're a poor street urchin in colonial India and you want to rise up, you become a cobra farmer and you start chopping heads off cobras and putting them in baskets and getting paid. And that's exactly what happened. And of course, the government figured it out and they were like, oh crap, like when these guys are duping us. So they're like, never mind, we're not paying anybody. And then what'd they do? Well, all those cobra farmers let all their cobras loose. And so then there was a worse problem than there was to begin with. So rather than getting to the heart of the problem, they sort of attached a superfluous metric to it. And then everybody chased the metric. And there's numerous examples of this that we can look at. But the same thing happens with HRV. And what heart rate variability, of course, is a measurement of the cardiac response to autonomic stress load over time. That's really important to understand, right?